Okay, there we go. All right, everything seems to be working now. Okay, so I'm gonna go through what we did today. I just told myself I would take care of that. So I set up a animation control rig on Jessica, and then I gave her an idle animation. That you can't see from this angle. I gave her an idle animation. There are some instructions on like how to do this, but literally it was do it in Blender is my answer to the problem. I don't know what the actual solution is, but I could not get the actor to behave in such a way that using Unreal's software was going to work and give me good animations. So there's that. I added an unlock button, or I added an interaction now. You can't see it, it's only prompting on the string. But if I press E, it'll unlock the door. So by default, the door is locked on when it starts, and then after you unlock it, it's just unlocked. Yeah, so like that. So now if I go here, if I press the E button, boop. All right, so on Jessica now, we have a let's see, I think it's in animations. No, that's a blend space. That's for recording. I couldn't get that to work. Well, I got it to work, and then there were some issues. So now she has wherever I put it. So that's the animation. What is this thing called? Rig. Let's see. That's an auto rig, so that's not what I'm looking for. Ah, here we go. I smirked. So I went through, picked all the bones that I would want controllers on, and then had to make an array of all of those and make sure all of these lined up. And then I have a for each loop, and then we set the transforms, and basically this one gets set from the controller up here. If these were to get adjusted. But there's some issues with the rig, and I don't know if it's skill issue. It might be a skill issue. I don't know. And then this does it backwards, so that if you're doing something that has morph targets, it would transform automatically. But for whatever reason, her skeleton has some issues that cause all sorts of fun, like the shading, like the shadows that are going on the screen over here as well. So yeah, so we'll revisit that stuff later, I think. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So I gave her a rig, and then I set up an animation. It did not work. All right. So for interaction stuff, first thing we did is we made an interface, and it has nothing in it but a boolean that says it gets actor. Then I set it to be a pointer. On main blueprint here, we added a character movement we created this this blueprint and attached it to that guy. This blueprint is all the logic for interacting with things. So the controls for navigating the fucking menus in fucking Unreal is inconsistent, and then they don't match Blender's at all. So I'm just sitting here, and then they don't even match the settings and the software for the puppet. Like I'm so fucking confused. Or the VTuber. So anyway, so we got this. We cast a character. We get the capsule out of that character, and then we bind the overlap and on begin overlap and end overlap, and then we add created events here so that I could map them out down here. So this goes through, loops through everything to see if they have this interface. If you don't have this drop down set, it doesn't work. It then goes through everything in range, and then adds it to an array if it's unique. And then once it's out of range, it gets removed. And then down here, this is my press E to open the door. The tutorial is like another hour long, so I'm suspecting that there's a little bit more to this. We shouldn't be using this here. This should be in the game mode for buttons that are available to the player. Future fun. And then the sliding door implemented that interaction. So we added the interface here. So when you're in the details panel, there's a way to add an interface straight in there. And then basically we have this interact event, which takes in nothing. So this thing doesn't know if anything exists. It just knows that it can be interacted with, and it does things. So in this case, this does, is the door locked, right? And if it is, then you can set it to false, and then we open the door, which is the same animation as on overlap up here.